You recently also uploaded a photo of Ranbir Kapoor's transformation in Animal, and that was all over the internet because, of course, the movie in itself was so out there, so spoken about. What went into that training? What went into that process?
Ooh, it was a long process because before Animal, we were shooting for Tu Jhuti Mein Makan.
Oh yeah, right. Where he was lean and
beach body and like
yeah.
six pack and all of that, all that kind of stuff. So I was asked to work with him before we were starting that film, and we had to work because there was nothing. We literally had to work on an empty canvas. So of course, preparing the kind of training that would go on, the kind of food that would go on, and he is anyways a very lean person. So there was still a lot of work that went into Tu Jhuti Mein Makan because the definition of the muscle, the quality of the muscle that if you see is like tells you that this person has really worked hard on it. But Animal was a different story because like I say, he's already a lean person. So for him to gain the 10 to 12 kilos over a period of 1 year was not, I wouldn't say it was easy or not easy, but it was definitely a process because eating the right kind of food, training, I don't think he's ever missed training. Once again, another guy who I think in one of my interviews, I've even compared both of Amitji and Ranbir about how amazing they are when it comes to timing. I can probably count on my fingers how many times he's been late, or I don't think he's ever, maybe cancelled once or twice, but he's always there on time. He knows what needs to be done and just does it. He'll ask his questions out of curiosity's sake, but otherwise there's no questioning. There's no, oh, this, that, or whatever. And then when there were times when we could kind of cut it back a little bit, and then if he'd say that, can we not do this and do this? It's okay, let's do that. Because we know that now we're out of the danger kind of zone. But it was a lot of work that went into it.
And what's the mindset? The physical part is one thing, but to put on 10, 12 kilos coming from like a chiseled six-pack abs kind of body, what goes into that?
See, at that time, he didn't know what it would feel like, but I'm very sure he absolutely loves it right now because that's become the new normal for him. He is that big right now. But I think for a person like him, it's important to know where they are going. Once you know where you're going and you kind of know what is going to be involved in it, then the process is very easy. There's no questioning or doubting.
No, also when the role demands it.
Of course, and he knows that it is something that he needs to do for the role. So Ranbir is definitely one of those like Amir as well. He's one of those kind of people who does exactly what is needed to be done for that role because that's a priority. Not for the sake of vanity or anything, but the role demands you to look a certain way. So then there's no question. It has to be done.
You just do it.
So I think that's definitely an amazing thing about him, that you know what needs to be done. You know the work that is going to be required to get it done. Now let's just do it.
What went into that diet to keep him below 10% body fat?
See, that's always a little bit later because again, when we're looking at whether it's Ranbir, whether it's any of my other clients, once you have clarity of the goal, then as a coach, you can plan the training accordingly.
Right.
You don't have to go for the chisel look right from the start. You first work on the training in such a way, you work on the diet in such a way that the priority right now is to just make sure the body gains weight. And of course, you want to make sure that it gains the right kind of weight. You don't want to gain fat, you want to gain muscle. But at the same time, when you're gaining, as a default, you will gain a little bit of fat. But we know we're not that worried about it right now because come 8 weeks before or 6 weeks, depending on who the person is, what kind of training, we can always cut that back.
Correct.
So initially the food was whatever he wanted to eat, and he's a foodie. He loves his home cooked food. He loves his dal, chawal, all that kind of vegetables and stuff, and he loves his other fancy stuff as well. So as long as he prioritized his protein and got his rice and everything in, we were fine with that. And he's not much of a sweet person anyways. Every now and then he does have a little bit of sweet, but luckily he's not that, doesn't have that big a
Sweet
sweet
tooth.
tooth. So it was quite easy.